And we've got a full house. Hey, everybody, welcome to your Nature Journal workshop. With your regular host, I'm John Muir Laws, and I'm joined today by the amazing, the wonderful Avea, the mad botanist Moore. Um, we have a special guest today, Mandy Teernstra, and um, we're going to be getting wet and wild here with our nature journaling. So can't wait to explore some ideas about aquatic nature journaling with all of you. Mandy is an aquanaut and a creative person who has been done a deep dive in trying to come up with best practices for combining a love of journaling and a love of the oceans. Um, Mandy, I'm delighted that you are with us today. In preparation for this trip, I've gotten some special paper that you've recommended that we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to be trying to put together in the next couple of days um my go snorkeling nature journaling kit. And so
Good.
I'm so happy that we got to do this conversation before I head off on this adventure. And I bet there's a bunch of folks out there who also are going to be looking for opportunities and ways to bring our nature journaling under the surface. Um, Maybe you could kind of give us a little bit about your background and kind of how you got started in this. And
Okay.
um, and then we'd love just to pick your brain. And at the end of that, we're going to open this up to a conversation. Want to encourage people as we're doing this, drop thoughts, comments, observations, and questions into the chat. And you also will have an opportunity to share those questions with Mandy at the end of this little presentation here. Um, just delighted to be with you.
Well, thank you. Well, Jack, I'm very honored to be here and welcome to all the others. Very nice that you are wanting to hear my story. As you can hear, I have a little of a Dutch accent, so normally I am understandable, but if not, please shout out. And if you can't hear me, which is usually not a problem, but still shout out to me. Um, yeah, like Jack said, there are questions. There are no dumb questions, they're just dumb answers. Or double questions, but that's all. So please, because I'm going to tell the story, the bit of my background, and it's not how do you say it? It's not developed totally by me. So everybody can at the end of this 1.5 hour, I'm sure you know you are able, you can go into the water and draw, but what suits you best, you should use. So, and I will show you, I saw my drawing coaches here, Inge. Hi, Inge. We went to Lanzarote this year and we both have a very different approach in materials, in the way we draw. So please keep to yourself because it's very, I like differences. I embrace differences.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
that's an idea which we kind of really encourage in this whole community. One reason why um, we've got things like the Wild Wonder Conference and we have people sharing stuff on Wonderland is that if you look through 10 people's journals, there's 10 ways of doing it. If you look through 20 people's journals, we each are bringing something new to this. And
Yeah,
so that's absolutely right. There's
yeah,
no right way to be doing
no,
this.
yeah,
I think there is a wrong way, which is by not doing it.
yeah.
Um, but I'm going to make my little screen whip disappear,
Ooh,
and can't I'm going to be taking little notes here, and I already have my first little doodle of you drawing underwater.
good.
So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, so I'm Mandy. Jack pronounced my last name very well. It's Teernstra. Even for Dutch people, it's a difficult name, and even for me, I seem not to pronounce it quite right. But I'm Mandy. I'm 63 from the Netherlands, and I'm retired since last year, January. I was a detective in homicide and vice and OSINT, which is open source intelligence. It's getting information from the internet. And although it sounds very exciting, and I loved it very much, it was a office job. Most of the time I was behind the computer. So when I got retired, I wanted to go behind the scenes and go into the nature, which I did. And I wanted to learn. I always ask questions, and I did in nature, and I looked for the answers, and I thought about the answers, but I didn't remember the answers. So, which is very nice because going into the woods was new every day since I didn't remember it. But I wanted to learn some more. And I started to do some courses with animal tracks and human tracks and footprints. And in the course, they said you have to draw. Well, I don't think I went to kindergarten, and if I had to do an exam, I wouldn't have passed because drawing, I don't know. I don't know if I ever drew. But anyway, I'm a person who wants to know the fundamentals, so I was looking for a drawing coach. Again, Inge is here also. And I told her I want to do human tracks and animal tracks. And we started off, and then somehow in the process, I came in contact with your work, Jack, nature journaling. And I thought, that's it. And in the process about human tracks and animal tracks, I also wanted to write a children book and make my own illustrations. So Inge had a lot of challenges because every lesson I wanted something new, but she stick to the fundamentals, which was very nice. And then one day, as I was diving in a local lake, I saw a very nice eel, and oh, I thought I always have, and I'll show them to them. I always have a sort of notebook underwater in which I can write underwater, which stays on the paper, which is also very handy, the drawing. And I was drawing the eel. And in my next lesson, I was talking to Inge, and I was showing her my eel. And she said, I've never heard of it. And she got very enthusiastic. And she was going to try it out in Lanzarote last year, somewhere in June or July, and she liked it very much. And then I thought, well, I'm going to look for some more information because I can't be the only one who's doing this. And I was a bit surprised that I couldn't find a lot of information. The only thing I found was again you, Jack, with a workshop with Walter, that little surf dude, that had been doing some drawing, but that was mostly it. I didn't see it, and I thought this can't be true because nature journaling is not just land, it's sky, it's birds, but it should also be water. And the underwater environment is, apart from being very beautiful and interesting, and it makes you wonder all the time, it deserves our attention because we are spoiling it and we are, well, like we do on the land. So I thought I want to share the message that going into the water and do some nature journaling it's a very nice world. But I was scuba diving, as said, and I wanted to make it doable for more people. Scuba diving is quite intensive, material. A lot of people think it's scary. It costs a lot of money. And so I went to Lanzarote in January. Inge was there too. And I thought I'm going to test all the kind of materials. What does it take to make a nice drawing in the water, and how complicated is it? And do you need to hold your clipboard very straight? Or, well, I can tell you two things. It was much more easy than I thought. And if you go on listening to me and you're going to try out, I have to warn you, you get addicted. I'm sorry, but it's a nice addiction. It's you don't hurt people with it. And so I went to Lanzarote, and it was, like I said, I was very surprised. It was much easier than I thought. And again, like I also mentioned, Inge and I had a very different approach, and that was very funny to see. So it's not in a nutshell, but this is a bit of my background and what I'm doing.
Going to bring myself back into
Yeah.
the conversation here. The So this began with an eel.
Yeah,
But you before this, you had now, if I remember correctly, are you also a cave diver?
yeah,
And you had done some documentation of and some sort of research projects where
yeah.
you already had to write underwater.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I'm a technical diver. I did wreck and cave diving, and as you can imagine, it's hard to talk underwater when you don't have a full face mask and communication. It's you can't write underwater, but in caves and in wrecks, you document what you see. So and sometimes you want to have, like in a cave, the map of the cave with you,
Right.
or how much air you should use. There are all kind of things that you want to have with you if you don't remember, and then you can take your wet notes. They are called wet notes, and you write in it. And we did a documentation of a wreck, and we were with three of us, and we were drawing on the water, and then above water we were sharing our thoughts and drawings and try to get say one picture out of the three which matched what we saw. And in caves there's also a lot of especially new caves, when they explore they have to write it down, and they do it in the wet notes.
So this is so is that when you're looking at these wrecks and these caves, is this part of research projects or is it part of the safety protocols where you have to kind of document these things so you can find your way back out once you're in?
Normally, if you just relying on a drawing in the water, it's not quite safe. So it's more that you have a feeling, okay, I'm now here in the cave and I have to swim a lot, because in the cave you follow a line that's already there. So what you put in the notes is all procedures that are too much to remember, or if you're not able to communicate and you're not in distress, because when you're in distress you have other signals with your lamp, then sometimes you can write like I'm fatigued, or I don't want to go to the next jump, or because all the other things like stopping the dive is very simple. Let's just put your thumb up and they stop the dive. So it's when you're not able to communicate with your light or your hands, then you can use your wet notes. And when you want to map the cave you're in, because it's a new cave, that's possible, then you write down. And when you document a new wreck or something else research, then you also document it in your wet notes.
And is that with is that done with little like Write in the Rain books? I've seen those
Yeah,
little kind of
sort of.
waterproof Write in the Rain books.
Yeah,
Is that kind
sort
of
of.
the go-to for that sort of purpose?
Yeah, I can show you. Don't know if it's these are wet notes. It's just a little book
Oh,
with a band on it, and in it is paper, and it's like a sort Write in the Rain paper. This
yeah.
is my stone paper by accident, but it's so, and you've got a hard underground, so you can write in it or draw whatever you want. And you can put pencils in it, and which I used in the lens rod also. I've also colored pencil. This is a blue one, and I don't know how it's called in English, but when I did my testing, I put some rubber on it, but I noticed I don't need it. The pencils don't deteriorate that much. So, and then you write in it. I might have some tables in it. Let me see. Yeah, this is for example, when you do all your checks before you go into the water for technical divers, these are all the things you have to go through. So when you think, I don't remember, or I haven't been diving for a long time, then you check your procedures again.
That's really smart, you know, uh for you know if you're going to be flying an airplane, there are checklists and these things where if you don't do something, let's say you're trying to pack your parachute and you kind of forgot step C, this can lead to problems. And
Yeah,
cave diving, it'd be exactly the same situation.
yeah. For example, I dive in what's called a dry suit. I don't know if there's time. I can show a little movie in which I snorkel in my dry suit, and when you go deeper in the water, it compresses. So what you can do, you have a hose, and then you put some air in on a button. You put some air in the suit, so you won't get it like this on 10 meters, which really can hurt. But we also have a regulator with a long hose. So if you have to donate it to someone, it's very long. You have to put it over your neck and then you give it to the other one, and it's like 1 meter 50. If you don't do your checks right and you haven't checked it, it might be that your regulator hose is under the hose of your dry suit. So if you have to donate your air, your hose is stuck. So
Got
it's
it.
very,
Yeah.
very, very important that you do all those checks every time. And that's what I see in diving. People think, oh, well, I've been diving for 10 years. I don't need this and blah, blah, blah. But those are the little things that can be the difference between having a nice dive or a very panic dive.
Yes, a nice dive or your last dive.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
In the very, very worst circumstances, that could be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeping lists is extremely useful. Sort of making lists and checking things off. Um, Another thing that's also useful for us as nature journalists is that, if you are making a list, let's say, I'm making a list of, or just a sort of simple thing like the birds I'm seeing in my backyard today. Because I have that going in a list, it prompts my brain, a new bird pops up to put that in there. If I make a list of noises that I'm hearing in a place, if I make a list of what flowers are blooming in this place today, um, lists can also prompt us to, or let's say or make a list of possible explanations for a phenomenon. The
Yep.
fact that the list is there prompts me um, to kind of keep geeking out in that corner of the world.
Yeah, I know that there are people that I need lists because I'm very chaotic. Everybody thinks I'm systematic. I'm systematic because I'm so very chaotic. And I can give you an example. I think last month, I was trying out snorkeling in cold water because I want to show to the people what is possible and I want to try it out myself. I had all my stuff with me, my dry suit, my snorkel mask, everything. I went in the water and I was filming. You know what? I forgot my paper. So now I have a list in my
Now
bag
there's a list.
which
That's
says
that's right.
paper, pencils, clipboard. Yeah,
That's right.
I mean, it's a little thing, but so stupid because you can't draw when you don't have paper or pencil, and it's a bit well, let's say my age is arrogant to think you can remember everything. I don't, and I like checklist because it gives me more space to be creative and think about other things because don't have to use my brain, just my eyes and check it off. So I
Yeah.
like lists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, so both the checklist to make sure you remember to do those things, but also the open-ended lists to prompt our thinking. Those are both really important. We have what's called a cognitive load. Our brain can handle about 7 ideas at a time. And when we get more than that, our brains go, I'm going to have to forget something else to try to deal with this other thing. And um, so, but your list can handle an infinite amount of stuff.
yeah.
That's great. Thank you.
That is
Okay, there was a
enchanting.
little impression. Let's see if Jack find his way back to us.
Oh,
And otherwise I can start talking, but
it
since
looks,
he wants to draw very soon, I can say some general remarks, but I would like him to participate. Is there anybody that has a question already for me, or a remark?
I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat who are talking about and that was a super cool video, and I agree it was enchanting. Um,
Thank
and
you.
and and that it was amazing. And Kim McCormick has a question of what kind of drawing tool do you use, like with pencil, etc.?
Yeah, since I'm a diver and I use wet notes, there is always, when you buy wet notes, there is a little pencil in it, which works out fine. But you can use every pencil you want. A normal pencil, which you're drawing with now, will do fine. But there are some pencils like a graphite, which are not from wood, that will sustain longer when you use it in the water. I can show you the pencils I use. Um, for example, this is just a little pencil that's in the wet notes when you buy it. It's in the wet notes when you buy it, and I like the white cap very much because in the other wet notes I could get a pencil out and then stick one of the colored pencil in it, so that was very nice. But actually, I don't need it. If you just have a loose pencil like this, and you can put it in your wet notes or on your clipboard, and I'll show later on how I attach it, then it's fine.
So a quick question on that. With a wood pencil, if you let go of it underwater, does it float up?
Yeah,
So you do have to make sure you're not losing those little rascals.
yeah,
That's why
yeah.
they have a little leash on them?
I guess because I'm very used to riding underwater, even with gloves, I the most pencils I have, like I've shown you on my clipboard, and I will show you later. I don't use attachment, but in the video I showed, you saw Inge also, and she uses little like spiral. Inge, do you know what the name is in English? Like spiral connections, and she keeps it hanging under her clipboard. But since I'm a cave diver, you're not supposed to keep anything hanging, because you can get stuck with it. So I like to keep everything with me because I'm a cave diver. I'm trained like that. But you can also use the spirals that Inge uses. That's not a problem at all.
That is I mean, that's sort of a scary thought to have to keep track of. What is going to, snag on an underwater projection in your cave or the wreck that you're exploring.
Yeah, that's why in the system I dive, it's very I always say everything is mandatory, but there are some constructions you have to use that way. You can't keep your hoses dangling like I did with recreational diving. I had all my hoses here everywhere, and my octopus, and that wasn't a problem at all. But as soon as you go in narrow places or places where you get stuck, it's a real problem. It's the same with when you go diving in a cave. You have to solve all the problems you have underwater. You can't go up. So you have very much redundancy. I have a redundant mask. I have three lights. I have two tanks on me, one for me and one for my body if something go wrong. We
Hmm.
have valves that go different ways, because if you go on the ceiling, one of your valves could be closed, but the
Oh,
other one will never close because it's going the other way around. So it's risk management all over the place, but you get used to it.
oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
But let's go to snorkeling, which is
Well,
more.
so actually, I've got
Yeah,
a sort of a sort of a wetsuity gear kind of questions. So,
yeah,
um, I recently went snorkeling in a wetsuit in Catalina Island, and I found that my feet for some like my instead of sort of being kind of horizontal in the water, my I kept kind of tilting up. Is that because I don't have sort of the right balance of sort of neoprene, too much neoprene on my legs?
Yeah, it might be the neoprene, it might be the fins. Some are buoyant, some are sinking. And when you use a wetsuit, sometimes just a little weight, 1 or 2 kilo, might solve that problem. Yeah.
Ah,
And
so
if you have not been snorkeling if you're not used to snorkeling, it's also getting used to just floating.
yeah, like the first time that I did it, I thought I was just sort of like whoop, kind of horizontal like this. But this time, I, I kept kind of turning like that in the water. So that can be solved with a little bit of a weight belt adjustment.
Yeah.
Um, the second is for journaling sorts of things, is there a particular kind of mask that you find is the best for
Yeah.
for this kind of work?
Yeah, I'll grab some stuff and show you the possibilities that there are and why I choose for the mask I use now. Is that okay?
Please. Uh, and so Inga, you are also you're Mandy's partner in these dives. Yeah. I'm going to sort of make you into a co-host here. So at any point, if you want to kind of add a comment or thought or an idea, I want to encourage you to, you can unmute at any time. Please feel free to drop those into the conversation. I'm really happy that you're here. All right.
All right, there are several constructions you can use. The most simple one is just a swimming goggle
Okay.
with, because otherwise you have to breathe all the time, with some kind of simple snorkel. But the problem with this is there are two problems. One is you don't have a lot of vision. And if you want to make a little dive, that's okay, but you come up with blue eyes like a panda because it's going to compress, it's going to suck into your eyes when you go into the depth because the water has weight, and then it's going to compress in your eyes. So
Got it.
you can use it. It's not optimal, but if you say, hey, I don't have money, but I have glasses like this, goggles like this, you can use it with a simple snorkel.
And pandas are pretty cool. So
Yeah,
if
there, yeah, but
you
you're
don't
gonna
mind
be
to kind
caught
of
and
embrace your inner panda.
they're gonna put you in the zoo. So that's not. I've been diving for more than 30 years and I've been snorkeling until December last year with my normal diving mask. This is a normal diving mask and you can use the nose when you go down and the water presses on your ear and it hurts sometimes. You can pinch your nose, blow a little, and then your tympanos pop out and it's good again. And you can breathe a little in the mask so your mask won't be compressed on your face all the time. So I use this with the normal snorkel for a long time.
Yep.
And since uh, 6 years, I use this snorkel. It's a training snorkel. I used it for long distances. And it's a snorkel you can put in the front, which is
Oh,
much more convenient if you're laying down because the normal snorkel tends to get more water when you're with your head down. And this one is very nice. You can put it with a band on your head like this. And then you can just lay down and the snorkel is not going underwater. It's sticking a bit out. So that was till December.
and
And
so
then I thought,
I've never heard of these sort of these front snorkels. So it's kind
they,
of a unicorn style.
yeah, yeah. So you have to again be aware that they don't pick you up and put you in the zoo. It's for long distance swimmers because you don't have to blow the water out and you can train for very long distances.
And so and again, that one, if you're going to have your head down in a drawing position, this keeps the snorkel in an easy
Yeah,
breathing.
more upright than the other one. Yeah.
Oh,
If we have time, I can show you a little footage of me drawing in cold water because I want to show you that that's possible too. And then you can see the snorkel, but that's optional. And then I thought, Jack learned me through his YouTube films that you have to speak out loud, and then you remember more. And I thought, well, it's not handy. You can't understand yourself. And with these kind of masks, sometimes there is water in it, which isn't a problem. You won't drown, but you have to use your hands to get the water out. But actually, in your hands, you have your stuff. So it's a bit cumbersome to do it this way. So I thought, why not try a full face mask? And there comes the real aqua note. So I didn't buy this one. I have to be honest. I did a lot of research and I thought this is the brand I want because of a lot of things he has. For one thing, there's not a lot of condensation. I mean, you like to see.
yeah.
Your face is warm and the water is cold, and that gives condensation. And this hardly gives condensation. Furthermore, this has separate breathing channels, so you won't breathe in your own what is it called, dioxide, your exhaustion gas,
Carbon dioxide?
carbon dioxide, which in this one you you have an amount of carbon dioxide. In these you don't have, so you won't get sick or whatever. And what is nice with these things is you have a very big bright vision. And when you get some water in your mask, sometimes that happens because there is hair in it,
Yeah.
or your face is a bit blown up or whatever. You
No, I'm
just
always getting my hair in the mask.
no, you won't. No, but maybe your mustache or your
Yeah, okay.
I just showed mine. But to get the water out of the mask, the only thing you have to do is get up right with your face, and it gets out. So you don't have to use your hands. You just have your hands free. You do like this, and it's gone. So, and it's so comfy. I really, the first time I had it on, I thought, oh, this is great. I'm going to try it even for diving. There is a special mask. But anyway, I did a lot of research and I thought this was the brand I want to have. It has also communication. I can put a GoPro on it. The bag in which it comes is a buoy for my valuables and for my safety. So, and then I thought, oh, I knew a friend from diving and he is from this brand. I email him, please sponsor me. Well, he bought it, so I got this mask. But otherwise, I would have bought it because this is the brand
Oh,
I
that's
I
great.
promote.
And what is the brand? What is the sort of the
It's
maker?
Ocean Reef. It's Ocean Reef. It's been making masks for, I think, more than 30 years for divers, for fire departments. They even made special masks during the COVID period. So they are a very stable brand. But it's so nice to have on your head and no water. And when I did the cold water diving in March, it was so no brain freeze, no thing in
Yeah.
your mouth, no cramping in your jaws. I like it very much, but I have to admit, even I've been snorkeling for 30 years, I had to get used to it. I had to do one real snorkel session with it to get used, to get out of the water, to drain the water, and but I can recommend it. But if you think it's too much money or it's too, I don't know, you can use the goggles or
Yeah.
just the mask.
Oh, that's really good advice.
Maybe I have a tip as well.
Yes.
The mask that I used is also full face mask, the
Yeah.
same shape as Mandy uses, but it's from Decathlon. And I don't know if you have that in the United States, but in Europe it's everywhere, and they're very cheap and they're very good. For me, they work fine.
Yeah.
And I think that's still better than the small ones.
It's Decathlon mask.
Yeah, it's a big brand, big shop in Europe. I don't know.
Okay.
So there are cheaper full face masks, better than the small goggles, I think.
Yeah, the small goggles is just when you don't have money, you're still able to, but I wouldn't recommend it. A diving mask and snorkel, or I would recommend a full face. But again, I'm also very considering that I can't see in how much money people have, so I try to make it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good tip. Thank you, Inge.
Excellent. So I like that. The, it'd be, I like the idea of kind of getting the full face experience, and at a lower point. So
Yeah.
Ingrid, have you tried Mandy's mask? Do you find them kind of are they sort of roughly equivalent?
So
Yeah,
you,
I think they are the reason extra why I choose also Ocean Reef is because they've got a communication system which is very reasonably cheap.
Mhm.
And they have a connection on which I could put my GoPro, but just for snorkeling, the Decathlon is good as well, for
Excellent.
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, shall I show my clipboard and
Yes, yes. I would love to see this gear.
okay, I tested a lot of things out. You didn't see my footage, Jack, but I sent it you before, so
Yeah,
you
and
have seen it.
I watched that. It was really fun to see you poking around underwater like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was so fun. I'm going to be honest. I was there on a day there was nobody there because it was you could see it on the weather. There was rain and it was not very good. And then I noticed that at 10 o'clock in the morning it was quiet. So I thought, okay, since my clipboard was stolen, I mean, who needs a clipboard? I was a bit scared and I thought, yeah, I want to film myself, but and when I'm drawing, I can't look at my cam. I can't pay attention. So I go again early in the morning and nobody's there. So I went there for a second shooting. Nobody was there. It was very good. And I went into the water and it came just above my ankles because it was low tide. That was
Oh,
nobody was there. And I could draw, but it was it was a bit painful. But oh, that was really funny. But on the footage, you can see all kind of things. You could have seen all kind of things. I used tape. I used different tapes for my paper, and in the end, and Inge already discovered that you actually don't need tape because when the paper is a little wet, it will stick to your clipboard.
okay.
I also used clips, but they gave rust on my drawings. So actually, I just put them on the clipboard. I started off with this white clipboard. And I think it's very nice, but it got stolen. So Inge had a spare clipboard, and she gave me this black one, which is a little thinner, and it floats. But yeah, it's just personal preference what you like. I still like the hard plastic, but I have been drawing on this one too, and it was fine. So just find some sort of clipboard which you think is fine for you and which is of course waterproof. That's
And
really
so that one has a clip on it.
yeah. They both have a clip on it, and then you can clip several papers on it. And when you made a drawing, you can put it on the clipboard. Be careful because otherwise it smears. Inge is used to make more drawings on the water, and I mostly make one drawing with a lot of details. So that's also a difference between us. But you can take more papers with you and stay longer in the water if you want to.
And so with these the one of those has metal in the clip. Is that one leaving rust stains on the paper, or
Yeah,
is
they both have metal, and till now these have also plastic. But Inge made marker tape on it, so and then it doesn't leave any rust marks.
okay?
If you
So
tape,
put some tape over if
yeah,
there are
yeah,
metal parts.
yeah.
But so are you using maybe electrical tape or?
Inge, what is it? Just painting tape or something?
That was, yeah, just painting tape, just normal, yeah, yeah. But the normal scotch doesn't work, huh?
No,
You tested that with
no.
the paper, that really comes off.
Yeah, I tested different. Now, apart from that, you don't need tape the paper down because as soon as it get wets, it get a little sort of sticky, so it stays on the clipboard. And the scotch didn't last. I had the purple paper on my first clipboard, which was very good and strong until you took it away and then you tore your whole drawing apart. So that was a bit too strong. And I had some kind of normal painting tape, which was the best. But since I didn't need it, I haven't used it anymore. I just don't need it. What I did do, because yeah, sometimes when you're in the water and you can't stand and you have to use your hand, it's a bit unhandy to have this clipboard this way. So I bought a little strap which you can also use for when you go skiing. Then you put this on your wrist. And normally this is used to put it on your glove, so you won't lose your gloves. But now I put it on my clipboard, so when I have to do something quick, for example, if my mask would be flooding straight away, I can use my hands and I still have my clipboard with.
Yes. Oh, that's smart.
It's much more convenient. Otherwise, yeah, it's a bit cumbersome otherwise.
Okay. And
Then I was thinking about the way to attach my pencils. Like I said, Inge has another system, but I'm a bit yeah, educated by cave diving, so I don't like my stuff to have dangling around. It was a very good system, so there's nothing wrong with the system of Inge, but I like this one more. These are yeah, um, you can buy them. It's how do you say it? The stuff. You can
is that Velcro?
glue it on. Yeah, some sort of Velcro, but there's glue on it. It's M3, and
Yep.
then
Yep. So they, yeah, they sell Velcro strips that have an adhesive background.
yeah,
Back.
I'll show you a picture, and maybe I can show you a picture. Wait, since I have now. Let me see. Can you see my desktop now?
No, we're still seeing the um uh we're still seeing you, but you know at Home Depot or lots of hardware stores,
Yeah, yeah.
no, we can
It's
get
just
those.
yeah. Let me see, where am I now? I lost my own.
It's okay. So you get, and then you put the other side on of this on to the end of the pencil.
Yeah, I glue it on. It has glue on it, and I push it on my clipboard on the back side.
Yep.
This is
And so that goes then on the back side.
yeah, I have it on the back side, and when you transport it, you can put all your pencils down like I have right now,
Yep.
and you can put different pencils in it. And when I'm working on the water, I push them a little up, and then I can see what color I want, and I can take it out, and I can take it in.
Oh, wait a minute. So this is different than I thought. I thought that you had a so you have a Velcro strip or a sort of a strip, and then there's a bump and a strip and there's a bump, and you're sticking this in between.
No, this prefab. Um, I don't have a spare one. I had a picture, but I don't know. So these are one, two, three, four, five different pen holders, which I stick into the back. So you could even, if you want to take a lot of colors with you, you can even make them here uneven so that the pencils can stick in between here.
So this is something that is a strip that is made for holding pens.
Yeah, and these are just singles, so it are five strips. This is one, So it's this strip with this little pen holder. Can you see it? This is
Oh,
one,
oh,
and
okay.
this is one, and this is
Got it. Got it. Got it. All right. This is very different than I thought what was going on here. Now I understand. So you're putting on adhesive. So I'm put a big nope
yeah,
over this, and this is an adhesive pen holder.
yeah.
Got it. That might be a nice thing just to throw on the back of my journal anyway.
Yeah, I have one for on my iPad and on another notebook. It's very handy and it sticks very well. I've been into the water with this quite some times already, and it sticks very well.
Okay.
And it's handy because in the transportation you can put your pencils down like this, so they don't stick out. And as soon as you go drawing, you can lift them up and put them down in again
I
and
like that.
change the colors. And there are some things you have to consider when you go into the water. For example, everything looks bigger, so it might be in the beginning that it costs a little time to get it back in because you think it's closer to you than it is. I had it in the beginning when you were going to the stairs of the boat. You thought, "Ah, I'm there," and then you were grabbing in the water, and yeah. But you get used to it. You really get used to it. That's no worries. And I made in pink vein. This is a special paper, no stone paper. I make these kind of drawings with colors, and yeah, you can see the colors are very nice. I like it.
Got it. And what sort of colored pencils are you using?
I tried two brands, and that's again funny. I had the same brands like Inge, and I have Caran d'Ache Pablo. I like them very much. I don't know what the others are. I can see. Let's see if I can. But the other ones were good too. Which one of you, Inge?
I don't really remember the brand, but it's
Yeah,
just
it's niet
graphite
Caran
with
d'Ache. Het is
oily.
die andere. Uh, fa,
Faber-Castell.
Anyway, I liked Caran d'Ache Pablo more because the pencils get a little less softer than the other brand. So I could not make a nice point on my pen. Point is niet goed, denk ik, maar I like these better. But as said, Inge uses different, so it's also personal preference. But if you want to use a brand that is good anyway, it's Caran d'Ache Pablo.
Great, great. Okay, this is good. Um, and something that I discovered just sort of playing and have we while I was while my computer was being glitchy on me, did you discuss the paper type?
No, no, not yet. I showed the footage because you had seen it already, and I didn't want to leave you out of
Okay.
the presentation. So we haven't been to the paper yet.
So
I did use Ride in the Rain though. You mentioned Ride in the Rain. I used Ride in the Rain notebook on the water, but it's good for riding in the rain, but it's not very good when it's wet because all the paper sticks together and the color goes away and the pencil goes away. So
I had the same experience. I tried bringing one of those down with me when I was in on Catalina Island and wasn't really pleased with the experience.
yeah.
So the um, and just so while we're talking about pencils, I tried drawing on this kind of paper with a very sharp mechanical pencil and found that it was catching. So I'm guessing that a manually sharpened, not super sharp pencil is probably going to be, or a softer pencil, rather than a hard, sharp one, is going to work best on this kind of paper.
Yeah, I used the little one from my wet notes,
Mm-hmm.
and I had the paper stick into the wet notes, and it gave this result. And it's like we said before, for the people who don't know, this is stone paper. It's cheaper than a normal impregnated paper. And what I like very much is environmental friendly. It's not from wood, it's not from trees. There has not been used any chemicals, and you can use it very good underwater. So, and it's very smooth paper.
Yeah.
Your pencil goes over it very well, and it keeps the color. I didn't use color here, but it keeps the color also good. So it's stone paper. Let me see where
Yeah.
I have
So
it.
it's also called mineral paper.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
stone paper
yeah,
or mineral paper, and it's weird. It's made from rocks, not trees. That's
yeah,
that's kind of fun.
yeah.
So we've got stone paper or mineral paper.
Yeah, for Europe, it's a German brand.
Mhm.
And another thing I use when I'm in the water, and I use my wet notes. And it was shown in the footage, and I talked about it, are wet pants. This is just a trouser you can put over your bathing suit or over your wetsuit, and it has got pockets. And in those pockets, I have clipped my wet notes.
Oh. Oh,
Because normally in my dry suit, they are stitched on my dry suit, but if I need stuff, I can use this
and
wet pen.
these are called wet pants.
Yeah, wet pens.
All right. And these have big, comfy.
Yeah, big comfy pockets.
So if I'm in a really warm place where you don't need a wetsuit, then you could just wear a pair of
Yeah,
pants with pockets.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but if you're wearing a wetsuit, then you could put the wet pants over the wetsuit
yeah,
and then still have pockets.
yeah. And if you don't wear a wetsuit, you can put it over your swimming suit, and then you still have pockets. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe something else as a tip, if you want to buy wet notes, you don't have to, but if you want to, because you think you like it, try to find these in which you have 3 of these or 4 of these tie wraps, because in this one you can easily cut it through, put new paper in it, put some tie wraps in it, and then you're gone. You also have wet notes that are really sort of spiral bound, and that's not easy to put new paper in it, because
Oh,
the fittings are quite expensive, much more expensive than when you buy loose notebooks of stone paper or other paper, and just cut it in the right size.
okay. So no spiral.
Just tie wraps, and then you can change it easily.
Great. So we've got a plastic clipboard we have with a little lanyard. You've got these pen holders on the back for
Yeah,
holding Caran d'Ache pencils.
yeah,
Um, the little lanyard on your wrist so that you can go hands-free. Um, the decathlon or ocean reef full face masks seem to be really easy if we can do those
yeah,
things.
yeah,
And then if you want to be able to put things in your pocket, um, these wet pants are a fun thing to have.
yeah.
Um, or I wonder if you could also just go to the Goodwill and just get a big pair of shorts um, that would fit on over a wetsuit.
Yeah, that might be another possibility, and that's what I want to encourage. I just started with testing out, and as you've seen, Inge and I already have a lot of different ways we do it. So please try it out, and share it. I mean, there might be much a better, brilliant solutions than what I use. So yeah, share it, test it out, share it. Yeah,
This is really fun. Um, I'm now I'm now really excited about trying to, to get my own little clipboard system, uh,
Yeah.
little pen holders, um, and colored pencils to go play in the Sea of Cortez.
Yeah, yeah. As you might remember, when you saw the footage, Jack, you don't have to use or put your arms very close to yourself in the clipboard. Even with a more choppy sea, you just can hold it and you can draw, and it's much easier than I had thought that it was. It's very relaxing, and as soon as you're in the water, the fish will be gone. But as you lay steady and easy, they come to you, and they are as curious as we are. It's so funny.
They want to see your drawing.
They want to see your drawing, and when they don't like it, they bite you. So be aware.
Rascals.
And then you say, "I'm a panda. I'm." Don't do
Right.
this to me.
Be nice to the panda.
Yeah,
The so and in before we kind of jump over to kind of community questions, um, your thoughts about doing this in cold water. So I guess one thing is that full face mask helps. Your dry
yeah,
suit helps.
yeah, yeah,
Um, when I was drawing in Catalina in a just sort of regular, it's Pacific Ocean. Um, I was really cold, and so I was all kind of
yeah.
all bunched up. It must be nice to do this though in a place where you've got kind of warmer water. But what are your other tips for cold water nature journaling?
Yeah, dress to the occasion, and that means that you have to wear a cap, which is also possible with the full face mask, but that's more. Um, it tends more to leak water, so you have to really put the things good on. Warm, thicker suits. Yeah, dry suit is very expensive if you don't have that, and I understand it. 7 millimeters at least. Gloves. Um, because it's like you said, when you are cold, beside that it's not healthy to tend to hypothermia. It also doesn't give a very good drawing when you are like this. And yeah, I mean, it could be very artistic, but it's not
Now,
what you want
when we're saying
probably.
cold water, how cold are you going in?
The water I was in March was I don't know in Fahrenheit, but it was 4 Celsius.
We'll have
And
somebody.
I had an insulation and a dry suit and a cap and gloves and I have to be honest, I am a warm person where people are using very big wetsuits. I'm still diving with shorties or I'm very warm. So it also depends on your personal constitution. But yeah, you have to dress because the water takes away the heat very quickly. I think it's about 25 times faster than on land, so you're very prone to getting cool and cold.
Got it.
Yeah,
Um, well, this is really useful. I think between this and my my seasickness medication, I will
yeah,
I'll be in
yeah,
good shape there. Let's throw the conversation up to the room here and see if there's anybody here who has some questions for Mandy or Inge. Um, and if so, all you have to do is just put your camera on and wave at us, or you can use the raise hand feature, and we'll see that you have, that's probably the easiest thing to do. We'll see you've got a question that pops you to the front of the queue. Um, and we will, you'll be live with Mandy. Um, I've got a question for you. If I'm thinking that kind of a minimal set of, and also Inga, I want to hear your thoughts on this too, because again, the more different perspectives we get on this, the better. With a set of colored pencils, how I'm thinking that fewer is probably better than many. How many colors do you bring? And are there um, any thoughts on color selection?
Yeah, I bring more colors probably with me than Inge. She uses more graphite. And yeah, it depends on the kind of water. I'm sorry I can't share. I can't see everyone, and I can share my desktop because what I'm trying to find my own way. And as far as I'm now, I'm drawing with just black pencil and
Mhm.
writing down my questions or my remarks. And when I come home, I do it again, but then I also paint with the colors because especially with snorkeling, it's there is a bit more movement when you're drawing, and you can't stay there for hours because you get cold or sometimes, like me, nauseous. So the colors I have now, I have 5 pencils, and I think that's enough. I'm going to Bonaire in September. Uh, if I would take colors with me, I think I have to take 30 colors with me. So yeah, just a few. And I had a very nice pencil in Lanzarote, which was um, looking very much like the underwater plants. But yeah, that was the one that was stolen. But
Oh, that's
yeah,
no wrong.
just a few. Just a few, because it's not about the coloring, it's more about what you're seeing and the wondering, and yeah.
And Inka, you're primarily using graphite?
Yes, I usually use just the graphite, the normal one, but I also have a graphite stick that's thick like this, one large one that attached with a clip, and I really like that because it has really thick lines and it gets a little bit soft when you're in the water for a longer time, and then the lines get really thick and you see the graphite float away a little bit, but yeah, I'm coming more from the artistic side than the journal side, so I that's why we are doing different things, and we can inspire each other.
And do you have it, by any chance, do you have any of your underwater drawings with you accessible?
Um, Let me see. I think I can share. Yeah, I have this one. You see, I'm holding here this larger graphite stick.
Yes, yes.
There's a clip here attached with a string to the clipboard, because if I get to let go of it and grab another one, then it does float away. I could also maybe share if you like to see a small short clip,
I would love to. Love to.
video clip. That's on my website.
Ah, I love it.
That's me. This was last year, June, also on Lanzarote, Canary Islands.
Oh, this is fun. It's also fun, it's fun to see the patterns of the light um sort of dancing on the clipboard there.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
It's
Thank you.
really so much fun. It's really good fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So with this paper, you can then also, once you come out of the water, you can put watercolor or other things on it. It doesn't it doesn't absorb. So the drawing time is forever.
Yeah, yeah. It takes
Um,
quite a long time, but in the end, when it is dry, it hardly smears. But it
and
takes a long time to dry, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
so
and the layering is also very different.
yeah, and I think that um if I then come yeah, it lifts out very easily, so it's not, so the sort of behavior of staining that I might be used to is going
Yeah,
to change. The other thing that is interesting about it with watercolor is that let's see, as you can see on this one right here,
yeah,
um, that was just that started off as sort of one kind of coat of water and paint, but then as it dried, some part with pigment in it dried faster than other parts, and so it
yeah,
kind of made all those kind of crazy patterns. So that might just kind of knowing that it might do that, consider it a feature, not a bug,
yeah.
uh, and just look for that. Let's bring
Jack.
up the mad botanist.
Oh no, it's just that I have to run because Logan's needing me. But I'm the only reason why I'm saying that is because I don't know if the recording will stop when I go. So I wanted to alert you so that way, if needed, you can turn the recording back on.
Okay.
Just because I was in the meeting room before you, but this was absolutely enchanting. It was really lovely to meet both of you, Mandy and Inga, and looking forward to to watching the recording later and hearing more about your amazing work. So y'all take good
You.
care.
Avea, thank you for being here with us. And also thank you for catching the situation when my computer went down. Really appreciate it. Give our love to Logan.
Absolutely. Take good care, Jack.
Bye bye.
Bye, friends.